this one will be unedited version, how soldering looks like. And I'm talking through when I'm soldering. If I'm going around on my wire, it will stick pretty nicely. I will show you. I will give you a real deal now because it was falling. I had to change positioning quite a few times. Nice. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing very small soldering. And when I'm talking about tiny details, I'm talking about this key, and we're soldering the small part of it. We're actually making functional key. We need to solder that detail exactly where it has to be. Not lower, not higher. For that, I was using 2/3 hands, and I will show you how to maneuverate with your heat sinks because that part is a bit tricky. It is a bit tricky if you just started to do that or you are willing to do that. And I'm talking through when I'm soldering. Most of the times I'm just making and filming and then doing a voiceover for you. So that's very different than it would be just, you know, like live stream and I'm talking with you. Because while you're doing that, you see way more that it needs to be said. It takes a lot of practice to position things well. And even though I have a lot of practice, some days are like, you know, a bit out of that. I will give you my tips how to solder that, how I am doing that, and I truly hope it will help you in your soldering process and, you know, to give you more realistic view. Because when you see edited video, it's like, you know, going very quickly and on point all the time. It looks easy on camera, always. And I want to show you how actually that part looks like, how long it takes sometimes to position the things that you want to solder. I will give you a real deal now because it was falling. I had to change positioning quite a few times. And of course, how to sand the piece. And especially when we have a key, you want to see 3D. You don't want to have flat view when you're looking into the key. It has to be shaped in a certain way. That is very important when we are sanding. You can make it flat, and you can make it very beautiful 3D key. So yeah, I think we have to start it. Now we have a key. I soldered two parts together. This one, I showed you how I'm making the fitting as well. Either you're making a bit flat to come with your wire or making a dip with half round file or round file here that you can meet the roundness of this part. Better fitting is always when you're meeting the roundness because you're kind of coming in with your piece, so it will be holding way better and it will be stronger if you have going a bit like this. I'm putting the tiny part into a hardcore, this one is GRANDE heatsink. I always call it heatsink. It's third arm, but it will react like a heatsink. So you want to have a heatsink where you have very small detail, right? The key compared to the detail is, you know, I think 10 times bigger. So we want this would be protected and it will heat up slower. So this part will have time to heat up if we want to solder that small part, right? That's why for the key, I'm choosing lighter third arm, which will get hotter quicker. So we will use this one. Now I have to just make the placement that I want. Usually, that you wouldn't have to mess up that much with your setting. Put stable into your third arm. Then move around with third arm where you want, but keep that 90 degrees because the most important part is to keep 90 degrees. And the way you will put it, it's not that important. So if I want 90 degrees, I'm working with third arm firstly. So now when I see that I have 90 degrees, I'm leaving that like this and coming with this part. This is a very tiny one, so that's why I'm showing you. It's more challenging to put these into place. For the small part, I used a half round file that I could meet this wire because this wire is round. So I want to be very secure with this part. I want to not have any weak point. So if I'm going in slightly with my edges, like around, okay, breathe. If I'm going around on my wire, it will stick pretty nicely. I will show you. And I'm happy to announce that this video is sponsored by GRANDE, which is a big jewelry supply store where I'm buying a lot of supplies from: silver, tools, whatever you might need for your jewelry creations, they probably have it. And they're giving you a code with $20 off of your shipping price. Thank you, GRANDE, for sponsoring this video. First of all, I'm working with third hands and I'm projecting what I need to have, right? So I want to go down like this and have 90 degrees angle. The angle is the most important part. So we're working with angles first, and then we will meet our part. But I see that I'm not fitting like this anywhere. Either I have to lower it down. Yeah, maybe we will lower it down. Okay, we will take smaller one. So this dude is not moving. We can push it aside. Okay, we're coming back with this one. We have 90 degrees angle. And this one, I want like dipping in, you know, because we need that 90 degrees angle more than ever. Okay. Play with your third hands. Just see how much space you need. And this time I'm doing the 90 degrees first. The angle has to be right. So when I have the angle, now I can see I need even lower. So what I could do here, I could make a placement a bit different with this arm. So we will do that. It takes some time, you know, just to know and see what you actually need from the piece. It should be like this, so I will lower it down and meet it here, right? We're pretty good now. Let's check what we have. Still working with the same 90 degrees angle first. It's easier to correct from that side. This one is too high. Okay, we will meet soon. We will meet soon. Don't you worry. And you don't want to hold your small part totally in pliers because that heat sink can be too strong and you won't heat up enough to get solder melting. So how it looks like now, I can't see that much. Sometimes it's very good, you know, just to take that phone out and just to see how it's looking like, because now I see that it's pretty fitting. We want to be perfect here, so have to play around with the piece. Always just perfect fitting. Don't skip this step, just do positioning right. It will save you so much time, so much time. Less frustration. You know, the patient level I got with this work is, it's kind of outstanding because I never been that patient. You know, you're always holding the chicken, a small chicken in your hands. Just don't squeeze it too much, you know? Fragile. And you want to have a pressure as well. So just keep in mind that the pressure will keep a line. That's why you don't want to go into your pliers fully, because you want the weight of the pliers to come. Now I know what I want to see and I know how I will do it, so it's not bad that it slip off. I still feel quite in control, you know? Yes, now we're very good, very good. Don't take it out, just work with your third hand. Done. I think we have pretty good placement, right? Just checking if the height is good because it has to be perfect. Yes. So now we need to solder. I'm putting liquid flux to make the piece clean. Usually I dip it in, but now we have all the settings, so okay. Now we have to heat up the piece pretty well, just because we have a lot of heat sink. So it's not enough to have small torch in this, unless you have oxygen going with it. From the color I see we're getting there. Now I want to place my solder where I want to solder. It's sticked, and we're working from this side now because I need to meet the temperature of that small part with the temperature of the key. I'm feeding the heat to the third arm because the wire getting red, but the piece is still not heat up. Nice. Very clean going. This is what you want, because if your heat from this side with the small part won't meet with the big wire, all that solder will go on the big wire because solder is going to the hottest place. So your mission is to meet the heat in both sides, but you have to check the color constantly. Check the color, how it looks like, how the metal is looking like. So from the color you can tell when your part is meeting the right temperature of solder melting. Now we're taking everything out, and we have a beautiful key. Just need a bit sanding, you know? Okay, I will show you closer. We have beautiful 90 degrees everywhere and very good solder joint. When I was talking about direction, when you're polishing, we're creating dimension in the piece, so the piece becomes 3D. Because if I will make lines in all of the key the same way, it will look flat. It wouldn't look like, 3D piece that much. So what I did with these lines, I'm going down, right? And I want to be as straight as I can be. So we're going down. We want to create those lines that for our eyes, it would look even fuller, because it's rounder. So I made those lines going down like this. For this part, I'm going down like this. It has to be 90 degrees and straight with your surface. We don't want lines that go not straight, And I'm using just the sponge. This is all that you need because the sponge is pretty big to cover the area. This sponge is very abrasive. And when I'm going with lighter touch, I'm making deeper lines in it. And I'm creating sort of shiny line finish. But the pressure is soft enough that we're having a very soft, beautiful, shiny finish. And what else? Yeah, and this part of the key, you see? I was going like this. So I don't want to interrupt in this place because I don't want to change direction of those lines. So now I'm going like this. It's easier to push it into the place and then do it, but for me it's easier to film it for you this way. So I'm going like this, right? So when I'm going like this, I'm creating straight lines and we have a very beautiful dimensional look. And now I will show you how to correct all of that, because this is just with the saw. I haven't done anything, no drilling with a bigger drill or something. This is just saw work. This edge looks cleaner because it was the upper part. This one got more messy. So what we do now, we'll take a ball burr a bit bigger than our hole is. So now I'm going and touching the surface, just tiny bit, just to see where I'm going. You see, it's already getting better. Nice. We'll go like this just to see better, because I don't see better. You see, we're getting there so beautifully. Just a round burr. And it's the quickest way how you can correct and do a beautiful job. If you want to go more inside, take smaller one and just clean it there, but for upper part we need a bit bigger. And it makes such a beautiful line. Like, look at that. And it's round. Come on, it looks so good. Okay, we're doing the same with this one. This one is a bit smaller. I made that one a bit bigger, so I will drag it a bit with my burr where we have bigger space, because I don't want to make it not even. So I will do a bit of like this, that I would know where I'm going, and then I'm going. And then I'm pushing it down a bit more. And we have a beautiful round hole. Okay, we finished all that process. I truly hope it gave you understanding how it looks like and more a realistic view, how positioning looks like, how much you actually have to strategize before you're even touching your piece and positioning into the soldering station. Sometimes you need to change things up. That's very common when we're soldering small details. We want perfect connection. And actually it's a very rewarding process, because when you prepare your piece and that solder melts exactly where you want it would melt, it's like, you know, tapping on the shoulder in that way, because it's not easy. It is not easy. It involves so much patience, like so much patience. If you do very good job with positioning and solder placements, then you don't have to sand that much. You know, I had different understanding when I was a beginner. I started my jewelry journey, I don't know, 6 years and half. I thought I had to train myself to not make any mistakes, and this is how it should be. But actually I was wrong, because what I thought that it's mistakes, it's actually the part of the work. It's not that you're bad at it. It's more like what kind of patience level you have for the thing, because sometimes you have to not skip the steps and prepare all the things. And you know, sometimes you skip some when you have a lot of practice, and when you do, if it's not a good day for soldering, you see that you shouldn't. That's why I'm trying always point it out for you, that if you prepare your piece correctly, everything will go very well and you will struggle way less. And this work is that you will always get some issues. You will always get something to fix. The more you will try to fix what is broken, the better you will become at making jewelry in general and saving your pieces as well, because sometimes you just need a little bit of fixing and not to just start over. If you have some tips, tell us in the comments, because you know, I always try to solder better, as we all do. It's very useful to try different things out, maybe to see different things different way. That's why we have so many different styles even to make jewelry. Everybody has different perspective. I see certain things and details differently than you do. So maybe your way would be easier. Maybe I'm thinking too hard, you know, it could be that too. So if you have better tips how to solder small details on the piece, just let us know. Just let us know. Yeah. So I hope you liked it, and I will see you in my next one.